Don't make me tell you again.
Thanks for stopping by, guys. It's Al here, playing some more Scrap Mechanic. I know normally today would be an Armed with Wings episode, but simply because we finished the story last time, and considering how the survival mode went last time I recorded it, I think I'm going to go away from that for a little bit. I might go to it for an episode or two later on, but I also had some projects I was working on Scrap Mechanic that I had in my head and I wanted to get done, and I got them done. They turned out a little bit better than I expected. Ever since I'd done the radar AI a long time ago, I was planning on going back to the radar at some point, and as I was seeing more people work on radars, I wanted to throw in my 2 cents, I guess you could say. And I forget the YouTuber exactly. You probably know who I'm talking about right off the bat when I say the sonar submarine that he made. It was a really cool design, but I didn't like the fact that he had file modified. It's something that I personally don't really like in Scrap Mechanic, doing stuff like that. So I wanted to see if I could take on the challenge of creating a vehicle that could be driven blind, driven using a sonar sensor or something like that. I think in the end I made like 5 versions, and I'm going to show 2 of them today. They're my favorite 2 so far. They're the first one and the 5th one. So without any further ado, here they are. The one on the right is the first one, and the one on the left is the 5th one. They work on completely different systems of radar. And if you may notice, the one on the left is actually a modified version of the dark tank. Both of them I think both of them are really easy to understand when you drive them, and really give you data you need while driving in order to drive well. The thing I like about the one on the left, the 5th one, the most is because it's really simple, really small. It doesn't take much knowledge to add to a vehicle, and once it's added to, and when you add it to a vehicle, it's really small, so you can add it to almost any vehicle. And at first I was thinking, what's the practicality of a radar? You wouldn't have any radar, wouldn't have any purpose for it, because normally you can just zoom out with your camera. And I might look at it in a later video, but I thought radar drone, like a little drivable car. You know how like the glitch that you have if you put 2 bearings with a block in between, delete that block and you can have RC cars. Well, what if you put a radar on that RC car so you can drive it around the world from a different location and still be able to drive it using the radar to tell you where distances are and stuff like that? That would be a really cool idea in my opinion. But that's a video for another day. So let's actually look at what we have here. So this is the first one. This little seat is just to help you get in and out, because this is a cramped space. There's a lot of sensors. And when I hit 1, it'll turn on the radar, and as you see, there's 2 antennas. I have increased the game volume a little bit, so if it is annoying, I will change that in future episodes. I raised the game volume because the 5th one over there, the little small one to the right of me, does have some audio cues. And I know this one's loud because of sensors, and that's only because there's so many here that I didn't have time to change them, and it was a prototype and I didn't really care about details like that at the time. So as you can see, there's 2 little blips that go back and forth, and these little green ones are to mark where the ground is. These look for the ground to make sure you don't just drive off a cliff, which is a big issue I expect to have, because the majority of my AIs have all had cliff detections. So I thought, why not have the radar that I'm going to be using have cliff detection? So the second sensor is supposed to scan for anything that's of medium height that's an obstacle, like rocks over here. So if I drive forward, yes, these are slow just simply because the refresh rates of the radar and all these little details, I had to make it slow. So as I get over here, I should start picking up that rock on my radar. Maybe, or I'll just go over it. As you can see, I've stopped detecting the ground because I'm such a high angle. At that point, I'd say, okay, this is a bad predicament, back up. Even though I didn't detect that rock, I did detect that the ground was disappearing from me. So hopefully, let's see if I can see this rock on my radar. These do all drive on a modified version of the tank steering, which allows it to turn completely on spot if you hold forward and the direction you want to turn. So hopefully I'm picking it up. No, I'm not. I'm not yet. There it is. Oh, it's a tall thing too. So anything that's tall is meant to pick up trees, is what the tall one was for, just so you can give an idea of what you're running into. But you can see the limitation of sensor. It takes me to about here before I start picking it up. But if I go in first person, you can see there's something there. Something in that general area. And that is that rock. And as I turn, it's now over there. As it pings it. So as I drive by it, it should move. Now it's on this one. Now it's on this one. Oh, it was on that one. And then it should move around. So that's how that one works. I think this has like 120 degrees. It's either, no, it's either 210 or 230 or something like that degrees of visibility. So you can't back straight up, but you can see as things move around you. So it is a really nice design, in my opinion, that you have that much freedom. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to get out, and then we'll move on to the next one. I might drive this one around. This one's really fun to drive around because it's almost like a mini game, or like a really low pixel video game kind of as you drive around, because you can see the ground where it is, and if the ground drops out from under you, you can see that. You can see obstacles in front of you, and then you can see like tall things in front of you. It's kind of cool to drive around that one. Come on, get up here. Shut up. You might have heard a beep there. Come on, there we go. This just has a little drop down hatch because it was simple. So if I hit 2, it'll close that little hatch, and if I hit 1, it'll turn on the sensors. This one doesn't work on height, this one works on distance. Yellow being the farthest, then orange, then red. If red's going off, that means you're literally like right next to it, about to hit it. So if I zoom in here, this has a 180 degree rotation. And how it works is, even though these are 3 sensors, one next to each other, that didn't come out right. Even though these are 3 sensors all lined up next to each other, they scan in a vertical. So these are just telling you your distances, and that little green one is also detecting the ground. So if I go to that same rock, this is how this one will deal with it. And that one might actually pick me up here in a second. So as I go to this rock, oh, green's flashing, meaning that the ground is hard to detect here. Okay, now we're somewhat fixed. That ground detection, oh, there it is. I'm pinging that rock. So it's somewhere right about there. So if I zoom out, I'm a little bit off. It's actually like right in front of me. But that might just be the part of the rock it detects. So as I move forward closer to it, now the orange one lights up. You can see how close I am to it. If I move a little bit closer, now the red one's going off, and you might be able to hear the tone in the background that gets higher pitched the closer you get to it. You can see it's somewhere right in this area. If I turn, now it's right over here. Something else to pay attention to is the fact that with that one, the sensors, you are in the middle of the sensors. This one, because the sensors are in the front, all of these directions are based off the sensors. So even though it says it's right to my right, it's not directly to my right, it's directly to the sensors right. So it's something to keep in mind when you're actually using this one. So if I go right here, it's just to the right of me, so it'll right there. Really nice and close too. If I turn towards it, now it's right in front of me. And I can use all these little details to help me drive. And right here the ground should be giving way. I do need to change that. Give me 1 second and I will change that. Here we go. Which one are you connected to? You're connected to this one. I need to grab... I didn't exactly intend to be making mid-video repairs, but I guess this was one way to do it. So you can go, say, 25 degrees should be good. It's still a bit not forgiving. More so I don't want to jump off cliffs. It's not as much. That'll be good. If I fall off a cliff, then it means I messed something up. Let's get back in here. And let's go take it into the forest. I have actually tested this one, and I have gotten it into a very bad pickle, and it sensed the rock. There was like 3 trees and a rock I was stuck in between, and it sensed every single one of them with their own blip, little bing ding 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 as it went around. And I was really happy with how that turned out. So as I go, I'm going to get myself into the trees a little bit more, and then I'm going to go completely blind and drive around for a little bit just so you can see how it works. And I think that's what's going to be I think that's going to be all of the video, is just me driving around and showing this little... Here we go. So now we're into the trees here. Now we're completely blind. Oh, we're really close to something now. Let's see what we're close to. A tree. So if we turn... Okay, whatever it is just got off our sensor. Oh, we got something over there. And whatever it is off our sensor now. Okay, I think we're good. So we did just... we just got turned around. That's why I was checking, just to make sure I didn't... I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna plot my course for the worst possible terrain I can go through with this. Oh. There's some stuff right to the left of us, which is that tree right there. Okay, we're past it. Oh, something's right over there. Okay. We got something over there and something right there. Whoa, we're close to whatever it is. But let's turn to the right a little bit more. Whoa. Turn left a little bit. So we're dodging trees all right. You can see where the trees are. The 3 trees that we've been picking up are. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and end the episode here. I am going to drive around for a little bit after I do my little outro. Oh, ground's getting hard to pick up. But I think I'm just going to time lapse some. Ooh. Something's right in front of me. I think I'm just going to time lapse. What is... Oh, it's because I'm such a steep cliff. That's why. There we go. That's figured it out. That means my ground sensors aren't right. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and end the episode here and kind of play around with this a little bit more. I think I'm going to time lapse some of this driving after I do my little goodbye message. And then the outro, the actual outro will be at the end of the time details. Yay! So if you enjoyed the episode, please leave a like. If you have any suggestions for future episodes, please comment them down below. If you enjoyed the channel, enjoyed what I'm doing, please subscribe. It helps out a lot. If you want me to do some more radar or more detailed radars and stuff like that, I will do them because these are fun. Actually quite fun to drive around too. Quite hypnotic in a way. Until next time, this has been Al playing some more Scrap Mechanic. Peace.